Hello, fellow wannabes. Marjorie here, and I just want to talk about plants and planting them and starting seeds. Here is my seed bucket, and so these are the seeds that I am planting this season, as of right now, anyway. And I just wanted to share with you. It's not very expensive. I mean, you don't have to. We've done it all. We've actually did science experiments. We are really big on science experiments in this family. And we had purchased the little solar greenhouses, the one that had the heating pad underneath. We did the peat little pellet guys right here. And we've done something that was inexpensive, is using the little cardboard formed thingies that apples are in, or even egg crates, egg cartons, the little paper ones. And out of all three, the cheapest one was the best. We just got the ones from this when we bought a flat of apples from like Costco, and then they came with these little cardboard forms for each apple to sit on. We just put a little bit of potting soil in there. That was the number one way to start our seeds that we've ever tried. The $50 heating pad greenhouse. The seeds grew upside down, which was crazy. Anyways, so this right here, this is just one of those thingies from Costco that muffins come in, or food, some kind of baked good. And I personally have the peat pellets just from years and years ago. And so here you see, these are my anasazi. These are flowers. And and you'll forget what you put in there. So what you need to do you see this? I have my little garden, well, my starter map, so I remember what it is. So that one had chard and poblano peppers and butternut squash, and then I put them, all the seeds that I used for this season, in a Ziploc bag so I could look at it and refer to it. It was just like, oh, how long is it for the butternut squash, and what's the spacing, and how many days before it could get to harvest. And so that is something that I do, just try to keep it in, a little organized. But for those of you who just have a windowsill, I think I posted it before, just get a pot from the dollar store, a $1.25 store now, and they have potting soil there. So that's what, $2.50, and then you could go get seeds from there. Look at dollar store. For $4. You don't have to get four even. You just get one for a quarter. And so for $3, you could have your own little garden, and you could put it on a tabletop in front of the windowsill, and you could have yourself a garden. And if I were you, I would either get like green beans, because if you have green beans or bush beans, you could have it all summer long. You could feed your family for $3. So that is something that you could do. It's very simple. Even your kids could do it. Each of them have a little pot by their window, and every day they could just like look at it and water it and chart it, do your own little science experiments too. And then they could have the satisfaction of growing something they like. That was one thing I did. I always let my kids pick out whatever seeds they want, and then that way they were invested in this garden. Because if it was just me, they wouldn't care. And so whatever we planted out in the garden, they could eat that all day long. I says, you could eat anything out there. And some of their favorites were the snap peas, and they would just go out there and just shell those peas by themselves, and tuk, 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 and they had a contest to see who could pick the one that had the most peas in their pod. Raspberries, I always got the thornless cane raspberries, because they're not as aggressive as the vining kind of raspberries. And blackberries, I never got the ones with thorns, because I got grandbabies and babies, and when they're gonna eat something, I don't want them to get all scratched up. So that was the other thing I did. I just made sure that it was a safe environment for the kids. And so the raspberries had no thorns, and they could just go in there and just eat away. And they loved being able to get the asparagus beds. They will kind of keep rooting out and grow. So if you don't want them to just get all over the place, it's good to keep them contained. And my recommendation is, if you buy any asparagus starters, try to get the ones that are as old as possible, like the 3 to 5 year old growth, because for, I don't know, $5, you're going to save yourself 3 years. So it's worth it. And then that way you can start harvesting sooner, because you can't even harvest it the first year. But I was just wanting to encourage you, don't let money, time, or space stop you from trying to get a little garden going. You could get a pot and you could put the dirt in there, and then a potato. If you guys have a potato from the store and it has little eyes growing on it, put that potato in there and just barely cover it. And then as the greens start growing from the potato, cover it a little bit more until it's at the top of your pot. And that's it. And then just water it, and by the end of 60 to 90 days, you can stick your hand in the soil and feel around and just like pull out a potato here and there if you want to just do that. Or you could just wait until the end of harvest and just dump it out. But that is something that's, just the pot and the soil, and then you could have yourself potatoes. So I just wanted to encourage you that you could homestead if you want to be for not that much. And the other thing was, sometimes if you guys are really wanting to get some seeds, the library has a seed bank. The ones in California do anyway. All the ones that I visited, they have their own seed banks. And the one at our library, it's non-GMO and organic seeds that they get, and they get so many different varieties. So you could just go in there and you could pick and choose. Just pop one over. You don't even need the library card. You could just go in and say, do you have a seed bank? And they'll say, yes, right over there. And then you could just have at it. So I hope that helps. And if anybody else in the country has seed banks in their library, put it in the comments below. Have a wonderful day, and I want to see you homesteading as well. Bye.